show Spark Talk with Mr. V. Vaidyanathan. He is a counselor and motivational coach for women. He's a co-founder of Sri Jeevan that exclusively works for women to help themselves in identifying their strength and potentials. He has 20 years of experience in banking, recruitment firm, and also BPO. He's a certified NLP in training. And now over to you, Vaidyanathan. Can you tell more about yourself and Sri Jeevan?
Thank you, Veena. Good evening to you and good evening to all. First of all, I'm told that today is International Happiness Day. So yes. I would wish only one thing: be strong, be happy, and stay blessed. To all my friends all around.
Okay. Can you tell us more about your Sri Jeevan?
Sure. Sri Jeevan is an online platform exclusively designed and developed to help women identify themselves and to understand themselves and to realize their potential. That's how I would like to put it. Now, okay.
Vaidyanathan? Can't hear you. I think some internet issue. Viewers, can you confirm if you can hear him?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yeah, I think some internet issues.
None, that's okay.
I think someone is saying audio problem. Yeah, I think some internet issues. So sorry, viewers. Yes, Vaidyanathan, you were saying something.
Yes. Sri Jeevan, as you rightly asked or rightly mentioned, that it's a platform for women. Now, what exactly is Sri Jeevan and how different it is to say that it's different from others. Now, Sri Jeevan is a platform where women can connect themselves through short stories. So what we do is we publish short stories, and the backbone of Sri Jeevan is my partner from Chennai, Mrs. Sujata Sairam, who's a teacher, who's a poet, who's a writer, and she is the brain and the backbone behind the idea of Sri Jeevan. So when a person visits the platform, one can find short stories, poems, something that relates to everybody's life, yes. Everybody's daily life. Now, yes, that is very important. That's how we connect. So we tend to come across a situation where we tell ourselves that yes, this has happened to me, or this is happening to me. Now, from that point, a person can make an effort to change her life for the good. Now, it's a platform it's not purely for a Gyan session sort of thing. I wouldn't like to put it that way. It's to handhold them, to help them make a change which they have always dreamt of. Now, what happens is when a person, or rather, I would like to say, every person has his or her dreams, his or her potential. Now, due to maybe certain circumstances, those dreams, those ambitions, they get suppressed. They get to the back burner for various reasons. It happens to all of us. Now, then a stage comes as we mature in life. A stage comes where we sort of resign to fate and say, this is what my life is, and this is
exactly. They take a break from their career. Yes,
correct. It need not be again career alone. It could be anything. It could be short. It could be small ambitions. It could be small
Yes.
hobbies. It could be small
Passion.
hobby, passion. So those things get to the back burner. Now
Yeah.
the purpose here is to make them realize whether you are in the 20s or in the 40s or in the 50s, you can still give it a try.
Yeah.
You may not be able to do what you could have done in your 20s, but in your 40s you can still give it a try. The purpose is that you feel you get a satisfaction that you did try whatever your heart wanted to do.
Exactly.
So
You
this
just give
is,
them the first step to just a push to
it's a push,
start.
it's a spark,
Yeah.
it's a push, a spark, and it's not just that. I believe in hand holding. So
Yeah.
when a person realizes that he or she needs to uh, maybe come out of their current scenario and grow in life in whatever way they wish to, they also need some sort of a hand holding or
Yes.
some
Yes.
sort of a support. We all need it, whether it's
Yes.
you
Yes.
or me or anybody else. So
Yes.
that's where we would like to step in and give them the opportunity, number one, to make them feel that you are still the same energetic person that you were or you always wanted to be. And then we can always, in our own small ways, we can always help them, support them through our ideas and experiences, realize their real inner dreams, and
Their
take it
potentials
forward.
and yes.
Yes, so that's a very big step for anybody to have in life. Now, this is a very common problem or a situation that we all face. We all have
Yes.
had so many things that we wanted to do, but for various reasons we are not able to, and then we
Exactly.
regret. Then we
Yes.
regret. So my message has always been that don't regret. Maybe you cannot do what you wanted to do, but you can still give it a try, and that's
Yes.
very important for anybody. So that's the crux of Sri Jivan. I mean, I can go on and on and on. You can always put in questions, but
Yes.
this is the crux of what we would like to see in individuals. That's how I
Yes.
would like to put it.
Okay. Vaidyanathan, you have worked in corporate sectors like banking, BPOs, and recruitment services. What made you to start this initiative of Sri Jeevan?
Okay. Uh, Corporate experience gave me the understanding about various functionalities, various professions, various roles, and when an individual goes through all those roles, you understand the nitty gritties of various profession, various responsibilities related to work. Now in the process you also meet so many individuals, so many people, maybe friends, colleagues, customers, it could be vendors, it could be partners, and we tend to be good friends as well. As the relationship matures, we also tend to be good friends. Now then a stage comes where we also exchange our thoughts, ideas, uh, maybe some sort of what to say, uh, uh, insights about life, about various other things. Now this journey helped me to understand how I can do more or I can contribute more in terms of uh, say human or interpersonal relationship. Now this is exactly where the concept of how to start Sri Jeevan or what to do related to human behavior, this thought came to my mind. So that's how I started thinking on those lines as to how I could take forward the idea of helping somebody with whatever knowledge and experience that I have, where
So you
I
mean
can.
to say you had come across a lot of women or ladies who would have taken break in their career, or who would have a lot of passion in them to do more,
Exactly.
and maybe it might be your colleagues or it might be your customers or clients. So you mean to say that you have spoken to them, or due to that interaction, close interaction, you realize that there are a lot of women who has to come out of their shell, right? Okay.
Correct. Correct. That's the right way to put it. So there were many who took sabbatical. They had for various reasons, maybe childbirth and so on, or family reasons, or so on and so. But they still had that passion to be something, or to be somebody in life. So that's how the original idea of beginning this kind of an initiative came to my mind.
Okay, now since you have told that you have interacted with a lot of people, maybe be it men or women, so you would have come across, like, you would have spoken to a lot of men as well, right? So you have mentioned that your organization exclusively work for women. So why exclusively for women, and what kind of concerns majority of women, come up with?
Yeah. See, you would agree with me that our Indian society has certain value systems, has certain way of functioning as compared to the Western culture, where it could be a lot more open, it could be a lot more idea centric and things like that. But we are bound by certain cultures, certain values, so on and so forth. Now, these are all very good. I mean, Indian culture is extremely good. The value systems are extremely strong. But what also happens is, at times, these can slow down the process of an individual's growth in terms of in terms of the way you are molded due to, in your parental home, or in your husband's place, or anywhere else in your society, your friend circle, so on and so forth. So this molding does give you a lot of benefits, definitely, but it can also slow down your process of thinking. So my idea has always been to change that approach, where it is required. You need to carry your value systems, you need to carry your culture. There is no doubt about it. But if it is going to hamper your growth in whatever way you would want to, that at times need to be fine-tuned. I wouldn't say changed. It needs to be fine-tuned so that you get the best result out of it.
Okay.
So this is very important.
Okay. Now, do you really think, like, women need empowerment? So you told, like, there are a lot of our community is bound by so many restrictions or values or culture. But still, now we in short, we call it as women empowerment, right? In short. So do you really think that our women need empowerment? Don't you think, like, they are already empowered? Because why I'm saying, we have classic examples, like, of proud women who are already, like, heading space researchers, and they're already a CEO, and in other organizations as well. So what do you have to say about this?
Correct. I completely agree with you, Veena, that women are already empowered. So I am nobody to empower them anymore. But the point is, if I can quote an example, not everybody would be as confident as Veena to talk to somebody, as an example. Now, it is very important that you develop your personality, your interpersonal skills, so on and so forth. Now, if that could be, if I can guide somebody on that path to make somebody to make someone feel confident and to feel very energetic to talk to somebody, to interact, to share ideas, exchange ideas, to receive ideas. So these things are are very helpful for that individual, because that individual's growth, personal growth, could be multiplied. Because if everybody could be as confident as you, then definitely they can achieve a lot more in their life, because they know how to go about it. Exactly. So I completely agree with you that women don't need empowerment. So I'm not empowering them, but I'm just making them realize this is what you can do, and this is what you should do, because based on a person's talent and ability, the person needs to grow accordingly. So if I can
you mean to say that, some ladies are there who have shut themselves, like, maybe they know that they have some capabilities, but then still they don't want to come out. So it's their choice. Or it can be even other ways also, like, some restrictions from their family. So how do you tackle in case, okay, now if a lady comes to you, like, I want to do something, so you can give them, you can counsel them. But what about those ladies who are, blocked by their by their family, or if, restrictions are there from family? So what do you do at that point of time? Do you reach their family, or how is it?
Yeah, see, there are two ways to look at things. There are rather two different scenarios here, I would put it. One is a person knows what she wants, but she doesn't know how to go about it.
Exactly.
That's the first scenario. Second scenario is the person is not aware that what she is capable of.
Yes.
So there we need to identify that what she is capable of and help her accordingly. So here there are two different scenarios. Okay. Now the first scenario, that the person knows that this is what I want, but I don't know how to go about it. So let me talk to somebody. Now in the back of the mind, yes, she knows that I want to get out of this. She keeps telling herself, but she doesn't know where to go. So there it is easy for us to, yes, identify that, yes, this is what you need, this is where you need to go, let me help you this way. Now the other part is she doesn't know what to do. She is there. That's where, as you mentioned, that she is sort of closed in her environment. She's locked up in her environment. So now there we need to identify that what she is good at, what she could do better, and how to go about it. Now it could also be that to make them aware that these are the things that you can do, these are the things that you should do, and if there are restrictions happening, society restrictions or family related, whatever, then we need to work accordingly to help her come out of it and get the best as she can. So there are two different things. Yes, as you rightly said, we need to go beyond just the individual also. We may have to talk to her parents, maybe to her spouse, maybe to her family members. So it all depends. It's a
sometimes you might have to convince their family as well, right?
Yes, exactly. But the crux is that the spark has to come from within. Now, if I have to tell you that, Veena, this is what you should do, then you should have the feeling that, yes, I need to come out of it. Unless you have that passion to come out or the desire to come out, nobody can help you. So that's how it all works.
Okay. Now we usually hear women empowerment all over. Like, these days it's a what do I say? It's a fashion word, fashionable words we can say, like women empowerment. So, do you think feminism and women empowerment, are they same?
I believe that women need to be empowered in every way possible, because she is a mother gives birth to a child, so she is the starting point for anything. That's how I would put it, as simple as possible. But the point is, when it becomes an activism sort of scenario, where you tend to be more energetic than you need to be, then yes, there needs to be a balance. Basically, you need to be strong. You need to be strong, but not so strong to have only your way out. There has to be a way that everybody can coexist. So that balance need to be inculcated in every stage of society. So this is very important. This is what I totally believe.
Okay, well said. Most of the times, this, as you said earlier, also we spoke about that. Like, they take a break because of family or their children, to look after their children. Is it because society demands that, or duties are labeled according to the gender? If yes, then don't you think it's a gender discrimination?
I do not believe that duties are labeled.
Usually what happens, like, we have a child, so in case if we have to take care of them, it's like 90%, it's like ladies who take a break in their career, though whatever position they are in. Okay, so but why not other way around, like why not men? Why is it like, is it these duties are labeled on them that okay, you are supposed to do it according to the gender, like men are supposed to work outside and ladies are supposed to take care, so that's the reason they take a break? Or in case if that is yes, so don't you think that it's a gender discrimination? What do you feel? Because most of the times we see ladies take a break.
Okay.
Sorry. I know.
It's a very valid question. It's a very, very, very beautiful question. I would like to try to answer as best as I can. Now, you would all agree that traditionally men are the breadwinners of the family, and women are supposed to take care of the home and the family. That's how the universe is.
Duties are assigned according to gender. Yes.
But these days, of course, both of them work, so on and so forth. Now, coming back to the point of, say, raising the children, for example. Now, if you take this particular scenario, small children especially need their mothers to be with them, especially in their nascent stage, the very, very very nascent and growing stage, if I can say so. So their presence makes a lot of difference. That's one part of it. Second thing is, as you said, why not men also take a break or sabbatical? Now, I have come across men who also take a break, but they also need to take care of the family. So they need to work, or they need to earn to run the family. So they may maybe change their careers in a way to suit the timings, the schedule, so that they can spend more time with the family. I have done this, to be honest with you, and I'm still doing it, so that I can also spend some time with the family, because even my son is growing. So I understand that the father also has an equal responsibility vis-a-vis the mother. So that's definitely there. Now, the way you have maternity leave, you also have paternity leave in corporates these days.
Yes,
so
yes.
that also happens, though it's just maybe a few days or weeks for the father, as compared to a few months for the mother. So, but it's there. The point is that they also take a break, and they also tend to suit their schedule accordingly. Now, as you rightly said, yes, they also the father or the man also needs to take up the responsibility or share the responsibility to help the lady of the house to take care of the family and the smooth functioning of the family. So everything needs to be balanced: the finances, the personal care, the family responsibilities. There could be so many such things. There could be elders in the family, so they needed a different kind of care altogether. There could be persons who are unwell. So all these factors need to be taken care of, and I strongly believe that it's a shared responsibility. It cannot be a one individual show that can run the family. So I
Exactly.
completely agree with you that men also needs to share the responsibilities along with the women.
I believe whoever is hearing this, men out there, please share your responsibilities. Do understand your wife and share work together. So I think it's not only ladies have patience, but there are a lot of men who have patience, who have taken care of their children. So I think most of the men should understand that it's not only a lady's job to understand or deal with children or their parents and work. Home, take responsibility of house as well as outside work, support family. But I think, as you said, rightly said, it's husband and wife, they have to work together. So let's hope they would have received this clear cut message. Okay, now we have spoken about career and responsibilities. What's your view on identity of women?
uh, to be very honest with you, I have seen women who excel in their fields, and they do brilliantly well. I can definitely say so. They do better than men. In fact, I've seen this happening. Because they are born with certain qualities. Men are born with certain other qualities. So it does happen. And women also have excelled, and they do extremely well in their careers. So I personally believe that it is because of these qualities that they need to be nurtured or groomed wherever they are at a disadvantage, because not everybody would get an opportunity to work in a corporate, but an individual or a woman may have the capability to lead a team, for example, or she may have brilliant ideas about running a small time business.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
all these factors are there, but as I mentioned earlier, it may not be that she's it may be so that she is not aware as to how to go about it or where to find that help. So this uh, bridging of this gap, this is exactly what we need to do. That's my view here.
No, identity here, how I meant was like, for example, just for an example, ladies change their surname like after marriage. So don't you think that it's a first step, to take away her identity? Like it's a first step to take her, I take away her identity. So what do you think about it? Like that's where then later comes her career and other things, but wherein she makes her career, but along with her husband's surname. But what do you feel that changing their surname when they get married? Do you think it's required?
Well, I would like to view it this way, that see, when you get married, it's two individuals coming together to share a life. Now, when the lady changes her surname, she keeps her first name intact
Yes, yes,
and
yeah.
adds her husband's name.
That's why particularly I mentioned surname.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's the first name, it's the lady's first name and the husband's name as the second name. So it's a combination of these two that make an ideal couple, if I can put it that way. So this is the beginning of a great life together. So rather than saying that it's a change of identity, I would like to view it as it's coming together of two energies who can probably take life forward in a much more beautiful manner and make life successful. So that's how I
But
would like to.
Vaidyanathan, I would like to put it across in such a way, like it's more like tradition, because why can't it be guys? Like now we have also, earlier it used to be like, okay, men is taking care of family, but now everything is done by ladies also. But still, there are certain traditions which are still carried till date, like changing her surname, wherein yeah, they can change, but then along with her parental name, they can also change they can keep their parental surname as well. So why totally they have to change their surname and completely get into different family? Yes, and going to a husband's house, like these are some questions which definitely we can talk about. But then yes, this must be in each individual, each lady's mind, you know, why I should change, why can't. If you're talking about two souls coming together, but it can be even changing other way also, you know.
Yes, I agree with you, but this is something that you and me alone cannot.
Yeah, agree, totally agree. Yes. I'm sure that now some viewers are saying, well, question Veena. So I'm sure those are ladies.
No, that is a very valid point. I completely agree with you in a way that, as I mentioned, that shared responsibilities mean everything that is shared. I completely agree with you, but these will also take time. And now to begin with, I would put it this way, that the first step towards this is to have cordial relations with the entire family, whether it's my family or my wife's family. So that is the beginning of this kind of a transformation, because even if you want to make this change in the entire society, there has to be ideal family relationships that has to first get developed, and it could take time. It will take time. So say, for example, if I am not in talking terms with my in-laws, then others are looking at me and saying that he did it, so why should I have such a kind of change in my life? So that the first step is that let's begin cordial relations. That's the first step. Now, to change this, as you rightly mentioned, as you mentioned, it will take time, because the society has set certain rules, certain ways of life. Now, that for that to change, it'll take God knows how many more generations.
I hope so. We see that day, like, they don't have to change their name as such, because everybody has their own identity when they are. Maybe they can share their surname rather than completely changing it.
Exactly, but I also see that there are many women who do not change their that's fine. Yes. That's their individual choice. It's perfectly okay with it. There's no.
I think it's a work together process, wherein maybe entire family has to work together
exactly
in this. Yes.
Exactly.
So okay. Now, are you your organization is associated with any other NGOs?
I am sorry.
Yes.
I am working to collaborate with various NGOs as well. So I am in talks with them to share a lot of knowledge and ideas, and also how if I can say, empower more in a way. So yes, I am working with a lot of NGOs and other institutions to see how best we all can collaborate and take things forward, because I believe that that nothing is a one individual show.
Yes.
So in my case, Sri Jeevan is not run by me alone. It's with my partner. So had she not been there, I wouldn't have reached wherever I have reached today. So I owe a lot to her, to Ms. Sujata from Chennai. So that's there. Similarly,
I hope Ms. Sujata is hearing this. So he's definitely saying that you're his working partner. So hope to see many more success. And okay. And now this is second round of interview, wherein I'll be asking 10 questions. You'll have to answer in one word.
Oh my God.
So no, don't worry about it. It's going to be like mixture of kind of funny questions as well as something related to your work. Okay. Corporate or Sri Jeevan? Why? One reason.
Freedom. Freedom.
Okay. Freedom, word, right? But my first question was like corporate or Sri Jeevan.
Yeah, you said one word, so I said freedom.
Okay, that is a reason. But what do you choose? Is it corporate work or is it Sri Jeevan?
I would choose Sri Jeevan because I can do a lot more than what I could have done it in a corporate.
Okay. Okay. Your interest is to cook. I read in one of your page. So, what do you like to eat from your kitchen?
Oh, I don't think I like to cook, but I I am good at making tea. To be as simple as that. So I can make good tea or coffee.
Because you have mentioned that your one of your hobbies it's to cook. So that's the reason this question was.
I love to travel. I mean, if I can just share some of it, I love to travel. I love to meet new people. So those are the hobbies that I would like to nurture and I would like to develop.
Okay.
As life goes by.
How do you describe your wife in one word?
A fabulous partner for life.
Okay. 3 words. Anyway.
One word is not enough. So that's why I say women are special.
Yeah. Okay. What people should not worry too much, which disturbs their peaceful life?
Can I explain here, because I am not
one word and then afterwards you can explain. Oh. What they should not worry about, something too much.
Future. Should not worry about future.
Okay. Now you can explain.
The reason I say this is many times we worry about so many things which actually do not happen.
Exactly.
So
very true.
So say for example, what if I lose a job tomorrow? You may not lose your job tomorrow. It need not happen. Just because it is happening all over doesn't mean it will happen to you. So
yes, exactly.
In an example, it's it need not happen to you, or it may happen to you, God forbid. But how do you take it forward? How do you handle that situation? How do you tackle that situation? That matters a lot. And that
because always I think we have second option, which people fail to think. Instead of that, they start worrying like, what do I do? So exactly. Looking at the circumstances in and around, they start worrying. Yes, I totally agree with you. Especially this happened during this COVID, where in and around people, their neighbors or whoever lost their jobs. So first question is, what do I do if I lose my job? Correct. Yes, I totally agree.
Be prepared. Yes. I would say be prepared for
yes,
any
very true. Yes, yes.
To if I can share something, even I was very worried. There was a time when I was worried about so many things in life. But then I realized that my worrying is only spoiling my today.
Exactly.
Tomorrow, that tomorrow may never come.
Yes.
It may never happen.
I feel that we have potential to have second option to do anything, whatever comes on our way. So we can solve this. There's always a solution. I think we just have to look into it. That's
absolutely. Yes. Every lock has its key.
Exactly.
So every problem has a solution, as you rightly mentioned. I completely agree with you.
Yes. The childhood game which you miss playing now?
Cricket.
Okay. I was thinking you will tell some games, with that marbles we used to play.
No, I never used to I never got a chance to play that.
Okay.
But I used to watch others play, but I never got a chance to play.
Okay. Which is your favorite destination you would love to travel, leaving everything? You would like to leave everything and travel?
To travel to Kerala. It's
Kerala, living, okay.
And settle there, if I can say so.
You have a lot of beautiful ponds around. Yes, greeneries.
Place, very spiritual place. So
yes. And which is a documentary movie which describes women's struggle with themselves? Have you watched any that kind of movie?
I am not able to recollect.
Or any novel?
I'm not able to recollect any documentary or novel, but there are a lot of movies also. So I'm sorry, but I don't remember the names. But there are movies in Hindi and Malayalam as well, which depict the life of a woman, her struggles, her life, her journey of life as such. So there are a lot of such movies which I can relate. rather everybody can relate if they get a chance to watch. So I would rather, with your permission, I would recommend them to watch such movies or read such novels and
Get inspired.
Inspired, yes, that's the right word. Get inspired. True, very true.
Okay, if you rewind your life, which stage of your life you would prefer to live again?
Oh,
One word, yeah.
5-year-old kid.
Which stage of your life?
So when I was 5 years old.
Okay, childhood,
Yeah, you said childhood,
Or-
so
school days.
yeah, 5 years, maybe not even school days.
Do you remember those days?
Vague memories. Yeah, I think we
Very-
all have. Yeah, we all have some vague memories, I'm sure.
Yes. Okay. What life skill should be taught right from childhood?
I would say
One life skill.
life skill. Cooking.
Huh?
Cooking.
Cooking. Okay. That's very good. Hope, for boys also it's taught so that our burdens are reduced.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. Okay. What is the most inspiring story you have come across during your course of Sri Jeevan journey?
Mhm. Well,
This you can answer more than one word.
have you heard of Kamini Saroj?
Dunla Dunla. No, you have come across.
Yeah, I have come across,
Okay.
and most of us would have come across if we have the habit of reading and things like that. Because this was also during the course, as also I did some reading and
You have
research.
personally interacted with her.
I did get a chance to briefly interact. So that's one experience.
I was asking, you would have met any women, their story has inspired you, or it can inspire others.
So this is one such example. Now, apart from that, there have been a couple of instances, but I'm sorry, I can't reveal the details due to confidentiality reasons.
No, I do agree, but you can just overall tell us.
See, in today's scenario, there are many women who have, if I can broadly mention, certain examples or certain scenarios. There are women who do not share cordial relations with their husband. This one fact which we all come across, maybe every other household. This is a fact. It's an unfortunate fact. Now, there are also scenarios where they just live because they have to live. Now, here what happens is the women, they adjust, they manage, and things like that. But I have also seen scenarios where they both realize that they are on the wrong path and they need to take care of their lives. So that's where, or that's when the life turns into a much more wonderful journey, because there have been some painful moments, but they both realize that we need to take care of our lives, we need to take care of our family, and they sort of, if I can use the word, compromise, not compromise exactly,
Restart there.
Exactly. So that's a wonderful scenario, which and an ideal scenario that everybody would like to see, and those are scenarios that are really I would say blessed, and I would like to see everybody having that kind of a scenario.
Okay. My friends, I just forgot to tell you that he's also into relationship counseling as well. I just remembered now when you spoke about relationship. So one question I would like to ask when we just had a discussion. See, there are so many marriages, like be it love marriage or arranged marriage. First few years, like say about like 4 to 5 years, it's like very nice. Um, uh, they try to compromise each other to each other's interest or their conditions or so many other things, family restrictions. They carry on with for a couple of years, but all of a sudden it becomes burden, like it becomes like too much. So they explode, like they start fighting or disagreement, and they try to end their relationship. So what could be the reason? Why can't this be sorted right from the beginning? Why can't they understand each other right from the beginning? Is it because they don't discuss about their passion or their interest, thinking, okay, fine, we can compromise throughout our life? Or is it because later stage they realize what is their passion or their interest and they want to continue that? So what could be the reason?
See, first thing, you would agree with me that anything that is new in life is always beautiful.
Beautiful. Yes, yes.
Okay, if I can just quote an example. Say if you buy a car, okay, it's the first few months and years are like you are very happy, very proud of it, and things like that. But
we
then
take care of it.
Yes, but then you realize that there is maintenance.
Exactly.
Okay, then you feel, yeah, this is giving
Then
me
it
problems.
becomes a pain.
Yes. So that's how then you start exploring options. What should I do? Should I repair it? Should I sell it off? Blah, 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 and so on. Now, that is one such example. Now, in any facet of life, to have something is very easy. So to fall in love, to get married is easy. But how do you run it all over and all through your life? Maintenance. So
Yes.
That's exactly where you need to have, I mean, both the sides need to have a compassionate side of themselves, and to understand each other, to talk to each other, to share their fears, and treat each other with that kind of if I can use the word, I mean, you should treat each other as friends. So if I have a problem, and I should rather than whining it over, I would rather open it up to my partner and say, this is what I have in my life. What should I do? How can you help me? So he or she may have some ideas for you. Now, this is how one should take life forward in every scenario. So, but what happens here is, many times there are other factors like ego issues. There is a feeling of superiority. So such thinking can actually disturb the cordial relations that one should actually have, and this disturbs the entire family. It's not just two individuals, because if there are frequent quarrels and fights and so on and so forth, it can really it can disturb the peace.
But some clients come up telling that I had this passion in me even before getting married, but I couldn't tell that to my husband because of various reasons. Maybe like she or he would have thought we can compromise on their partner, or maybe because of family restrictions, family pressure. They didn't want her to reveal. So don't I personally feel like they should be very clear when they get married. This is what I want to do, and this is my passion. Do you like it, or will you be able to support me? I think at that point of time, maybe like the person who is going to get married, they will rethink whether I should really want to have this partner in my life. Can I really go ahead, support her or him? They can take decision at that point of time rather than keeping quiet. That's what I personally feel. So what do you think?
Absolutely, I completely agree with you that in any discussion, be it personal or professional, all the terms, all the scenarios, all the possible scenarios, all the conditions need to be discussed and spoken out. That is completely that's how it should be. Even after you get married, of course, before you get married, you talk it out and then you decide for yourself whether you want to go ahead or not. That's one part of it. Now, even if after you get married, if there are certain things that you wish to share, I really feel that you should open up. What will happen at the most? He or she may reject the idea.
Exactly.
But rather than keeping it within yourself and living with it, with that burden, how is it going to help you? So open up to your partner. Discuss. He or she may have a better idea, or he or she may reject that idea, or he or she may say, we'll think about it later.
Yes.
So it's just these three possibilities that I can see. Yeah. I don't see any fourth possibility.
Exactly.
Right? So it's better that you open up, you talk it out, and then we see how life can be taken care of. Many times it so happens that today if you say something, it may not be acceptable to the person, your partner. Yes. But it will still keep running in his mind or her mind that he or she mentioned this to me. What could it be?
So maybe not at that point of time, but later stage they will support.
They will support. Because at that moment of time, you don't know what he or she is in the state of mind. Maybe
yes, exactly.
He or she is disturbed or have some other preoccupied mind. So they will definitely give it a thought because they also value your opinion. They care for you, such things. So exactly. It will definitely come up for discussion at a later stage.
Very true.
It can definitely be a win-win situation later.
Yes, true. Okay. Last question. There are so many, still a lot of women like who wants to start something, but still hesitating to start, to take the first step. So what do you have to tell them? You have already told, but then let us end this episode by giving them one, thought. Like, what is the first step they should take?
First of all, they should identify what they would like to do. That's the first thing. And if they are very convinced about their ideas, they should pursue it. Now, to pursue it, they may not have the roadmap as to how to go about it. So that's the time you need to talk to someone who is close to you. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be you may take professional help like a counselor. There could be so many factors. So
okay, I hope all the ladies who are watching there, please identify your passion which is hidden in you and your interest, your capabilities. Don't hide them. Discuss with your partner, and in case if you need any external support, there are so many organizations like Sri Jeevan and many more who work exclusively for women. So you can just go and discuss with them. They'll help you in taking first step. Also, they will hold your hand and help you out how to reach out your passion or your interest, even career as well. So with this, we end this episode. Thank you so much, Vaidyanathan, for so many informations and about your organization as well, so that people, especially ladies, can reach you out there in case if they require any help. And thanks a lot, friends and viewers. We'll be back next week with new guests, with their thoughts, with their inspirational stories. So thank you so much. I end this show. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.